Alright, hello everybody, we are back with some more Hades 2 1.0 content. I want to bring you a beginner's guide today. Everything I know that can help you win more Hades 2 runs, as well as an incredibly strong setup you unlock very early into the game. That, of course, is Aspect of Way for the Witch's Staff. What matters here is the greater power for your specials. Phrynos the Familiar, the first familiar you're going to unlock within Hades 2, giving us extra max HP, and Phrynos can also block projectiles. Then the Cloud Bangle, Zeus's keepsake. The goal with Zeus's keepsake is to acquire his attack Heaven Strike, as it will inflict Blitz. Blitz is a curse, which will help us get into Origination, which we will talk about in just a second, and it's going to afflict foes with the curse Blitz. Once those foes take 120 damage or after 4 seconds, they will be struck by lightning. At common, that's going to deal an extra 80 damage. On top of that, we want any percent bonus damage, like Sworn Flourish from Hera, Ice Flourish from Demeter, Nova Flourish from Apollo, last and certainly not least, Vicious Flourish from Ares. For the beginner recommended Arcana, which I spoke about in my Arcana guide, link will be in the description down below for that. For those curious to hear my more in-depth thoughts about all the cards, this is what I will be recommending that everyone use today. The big thing when it comes to playing around your Arcana cards is to always put your cast down on enemies to get that 30% global damage bonus, and to do your best to get 2 curses from different Olympians online as early as possible, so you can get that global 50% damage bonus from Origination. After we acquire our Blitz attack, some strong Daedalus hammers, hopefully, as well as any percent damage bonus on our special, our main goal will be to either pick up Demeter and Hephaestus for survivability options, like any sort of freeze effect that will stop enemies from attacking or slow down bosses, as well as Snow Queen for 1 free hit of damage, or Trusty Shield for 10 armor in every room. Of course, armor cannot take over damage, so even if you enter a room with 10 armor and take 100 damage, you will only take that 10 on the armor break. Heavy Metal for 20% damage based on your armor, and of course another 50 armor. Security System for 7 seconds of temporary starting armor per room, or Uncanny Fortitude, giving you extra max HP based on your magic limit, which is extra nice on Melstaff since you do have extra base magic. If you're doing good in their survivability department and still feel like you lack damage, then my general recommendations are going to be to look for Apollo, Aphrodite, or Hestia. Apollo is going to be a little bit of a 2-in-1 because you do have something like Blinding Rush, which is going to give you more sprint speed, and Daze. Daze is a curse where afflicted foes have 20% chance to deal no damage. So not only are you helping with your origination front in the damage department, moving faster, and being able to dodge attacks, so it is also a survivability effort. But Apollo can also give you Perfect Image. You deal more damage until you take damage. And Back Burner. Foes with Daze take more damage if struck from behind. And then Aphrodite as well is a 2-in-1, being able to give you a weak effect. It is another very strong curse where afflicted foes will deal at least 30% less damage. On top of that, Aphrodite has boons like Shameless Attitude. You deal more damage. While you have at least 80% HP, the bonus is doubled. Sweet Surrender. Weak afflicted foes will simply take more damage. And Secret Crush. Your attacks gain power, but you'll prime magic. Not a problem for Melstaff. Then as for Hestia, we have Smolder Ring. This is going to apply a curse, Scorch, which will help towards your origination, where afflicted foes take 100 damage accrued from this every 1 second. And this does work into an incredible duo boon called Thermal Dynamics, where your Blitz effect, which is going to be on our attack, can also inflict Scorch, which will get us straight into Origination just off of that. On top of that, Hestia gives you access to boons like Flash Fry, Your foes perish in a blast that damages any surrounding foes, helping you a lot when it comes to room clear. And Snuffed Candle. You deal more damage to foes that are nowhere near other foes, giving you a 15% global damage boost to isolated enemies. As this is a beginner guide, we're going to be playing on Zero Fear today, but that covers our Aspect, Familiar, Keepsake, Arcana, and general idea for the build that I'll be showing today, as well as what you can do in your runs depending on what you feel you need more, whether that be damage or survivability. Before we do that, I get a ton of questions about what input I am using, so I will answer that now. I am a mouse and keyboard player, if you could not tell. No, there is no superior input. There is amazing controller players out there. There is amazing keyboard and mouse players out there. Please just use whatever input device you enjoy using more, whatever input device you are more comfortable with. That is going to be the one to yield the best results. Besides that, here's a quick overview of all my relevant settings in Hades 2. Now I'll take you down to an underworld run and try to explain everything that I do in a run to get hit less, deal as much damage as I can, and go as fast as I possibly can. Furinos with me. Let's begin our run. First thing we need is our Zeus attack. We get it with full rarity. That's quite cool. Okay, we're going to talk about some very important combat basics I see a lot of people forget about. Number one, you have a cast boon. Always be casting. Not only does it give you a global damage modifier to enemies, but it also slows them, it roots them. Not against bosses, but against all enemies in a room, you're going to slow and root them. Plus, you want to put something on your cast to inflict origination and deal damage, so it's going to help you there. And this way, cast your enemies, get your origination, get your cast damage, get your Fury's global damage buff, and slow and root most enemies in the game. You want to keep this at 100% uptime, no matter what you're doing, and be playing around it constantly, rotating and throwing attacks onto the enemies that are trapped within your cast. Number two, this is not Hades 1. You do not dash and let go. You dash and you hold sprint. Sprint is an incredible tool to help you avoid damage. Only when you know you are safe and you are ready to deal damage once again, you will then attack out of your sprint. That is the gameplay flow of Hades 2. Please do not just empty dash, no sprint, throw away any of your avoidability tools, and then get hit. Use your movement to your advantage, please and thank you. So you'll see me drop cast on enemy for exactly that, and then constantly be attacking out of my sprint, especially on Melstaff with the very basic Dash Strike special combo. That is all you need to do. It is incredibly fundamental, but also incredibly important, and a lot of people, even at a decent level, don't do it very well. We did not get Shimmering Moonshot, Melting Swipe, nor Dual Moonshot, but I will take Wicked Thrasher as a consolation prize. It's still going to help buff our Dash Strike damage, which I don't mind at all. So yes, remember that at all times, okay? It's a cast. It's a Dash Strike special. It's a use your sprint. It's thinking about, am I in a safe position to start attacking again? If so, let's do it. If not, let's continue to sprint and find a safe position. Okay? Okay. That's what we're always going to be looking to do. That is Hades 2 combat mechanics in a nutshell. Also, check your flippin' wells. They have so many good upgrades that can help you along in your runs between healing and damage. Never leave a well unchecked. Bombs for damage, Ash for HP. You need the magic go bones. Our timer has paused in location 5, and the enemies spawned in a little differently than they normally do. This is an Artemis room. The hunt is on. Very cool. We get a very strong critical chance boon that's going to help us deal even more damage. Like I said, it also pauses our timer, and Artemis helps us clear the room. Artemis can start showing up in location 5 of Erebus which is exactly where we are. Artemis can only be in a room that ends with a non-menu reward. What does that mean? Anything that doesn't present you with a menu at the end of a room, like a boon, Artemis can be inside. However, as of Hades 2 1.0, Artemis can now also be inside the menu reward rooms of hexes and palms specifically. So basically, Artemis's odds of showing up have increased. Artemis can only be in Erebus and Oceanus, and you can only get Artemis once per run. So seeing her now, we will not see her again this night. Killing Stroke is an amazing special-based crit boon we are going to take, but Artemis has quite a few good crit boons. Shadow Pounce for Omegas can be very good. Support Fire with air quality is always fun. Pressure Points is 3% global critical chance, which is great. And there's Vital Signs, which is 15% crit, but of course it's only on enemies with 80% HP or armor. Still very good for room clear, falls off in bossing. And Lethal Snare. If your damage is heavily based on your attack, this is a fantastic one. Foes in your casts may take critical damage from your attacks, 10% chance. Go ahead, take our Killing Stroke today, fantastic on the Mel staff, and then we get presented with a shop or a boss. Starting within location 6 in Erebus, you will start to get your shop, boss, Arachne rotation, as I call it. You can only see Arachne once, you can only see your shop once, you can see your boss a total of 3 times in Erebus, as there is 3 Erebus mini bosses. There is 3 Oceanus bosses, so you'll see 3 bosses down there. There's only 2 bosses in the Morning Field, so you'll only get offered your boss twice. That is how the boss offerings work. They're very good rooms to learn how to do well. Mini bosses are fast and will reward you with a boon of upgraded rarity. So we head to our shop first. We have seen our mini boss once. Count them up. This is location 6. Take note of that. There's 13 locations in Erebus, 13 being Hecate. 12 is your final shop, 11 is your final combat. We got more Zeus. Don't mind if I do. I mentioned options for even more damage. Something I didn't talk about is Zeus has some very good damage boons of his own. Storm Ring, Static Shock, and Double Strike are the big ones. We do not want to double Blitz effect. They do overwrite each other. There's absolutely no need. We're looking for percent on our special. We'll roll here. We did get Static Shock. Strikes emit Chain Lightning. Bounce up to 4 times. Prime 50 magic. Not a big deal at all. Chain Lightning damage 10. Very strong. Helps clear barriers. Helps does a ton of chip damage. Is just an overall good boon. I mentioned Apollo as a very strong god to take as well, not only for origination, but good special damage and some other damage modifiers. We're going to go ahead and take that today. We get our mini boss, same thing. Always be casting, dash into a sprint, confirm you're safe, attack out of said sprint with a dash strike and a special combo. Hey Apollo. I just want the special. Percent damage in a larger area. Very good. We got our shop done. We got our boss done. Our boss was offered a second time and a third time. So A, we had to take it, and B, that would be the last time we actually saw the boss. If you get offered 2 bosses at the same time, it counts as 2 offerings. So be careful. Each boss door you see is an offering. We get a Palm or Hermes. Hermes has some pretty great survivability tools as well. Always good to pick up during a run. You're going to see Hermes once or twice per run on average. There it is. Hi Hermes. So, success rate's a great effect. Chance-based effects are more likely to occur except for dodge or daze. This will affect our Killing Stroke critical chance percent. Also Stutter Step to allow us to dash more often, or Nitro Boost giving us 15% sprint speed and a barrier that ignores an instance of damage. There is also Racing Thoughts if you're doing an Omega based build. Hasty Retreat for dodge chance and move speed that increases the more boons you have. Hard Target to make foes' range shots slower. Quick Buck for some money. Mean Streak for weapon damage. Hermes basically doesn't have a bad boon. Travel Deal for extra boons. We're going to take Nitro Boost today. We have plenty of damage already, and I am more focused on the defensive tools that I can show off to you all. Nothing special here. Other skip rooms besides your shop, your boss, and Artemis include Nemesis, can only be found in a room that ends in a non-menu reward. Cocoons, non-menu rewards. Fountains can be found in full menu-based reward rooms. And then, of course, there is Chaos Gates. There's also a well item called the Spark of Ixion that can produce a Chaos Gate for you. Chaos Gate will skip over a location. So do keep that in mind. You can find Chaos Gates all throughout the run. You can encounter Nemesis twice. It is incredibly rare. It's pretty rare to even get Nemesis once. You can only find Artemis once. You can get a Cocoons room in Erebus and Oceanus. You can get a Fountain room in Erebus and Oceanus. You can get a shop in Erebus and Oceanus. You can get a mid-boss in Erebus, Oceanus, the Morning Fields, and Tartarus. We got a trial as well. 2 boons, but we do have to fight a god. Let's go ahead and do it. High risk, high reward. Usually worth it. Let's fight Zeus. Go ahead and roll here. Look for Apollo Sprint. We're going to move even faster and inflict daze on surrounding foes. This is a fantastic sprint boon paired with a fantastic curse. Afflicted foes have 20% chance to deal no damage for 9 seconds.
Apollo's light.
I am the king of Olympus. Is some obedience truly too much to expect?
Apollo Sprint paired with Zeus's attack is going to get us into that early origination we were looking for on top of our Furies. We're going to be dealing 50% more damage to all enemies. Very nice. Make sure to always be casting. Once again, never come out of your sprint too early and use your Mel Staff combo. Storm Ring, don't mind if I do. A really nice damage cast, and we are in location 11, so this is our final shop of location 12. The room paired with the final shop is always a freebie. If I went into the HP room, it would just be a free room of HP, no enemies, and it doesn't cost anything. Instead, we go into the shop and we get a Poseidon boon. Very cool. We only have 2 gods right now. You can acquire 4 gods within a run. Once you naturally get 4 gods within your run, that is considered your god pool. If you want more than 4 gods in your god pool, you have to put a keepsake on to force a 5th, a 6th, a 7th, etc. Artemis and Hermes do not count towards this, neither do gods like Athena or Dionysus. It's just 4 core gods make up your god pool. Zeus is 1, Apollo is 2, and now Poseidon, with epic hydraulic might, is number 3. We'll take the palm as well, since we're rich, and head into our Hecate fight.
There she is.
Hecate is rather straightforward.
Whether 'tis wise to
You
not be finished.
deal so much damage to her, and then she shields up, you have to clear the witches. Rinse and repeat till the fight's over. She always starts with a ground pulse. She can break into clones. The real clone is the one you can damage. She also has a tendency to speak when she splits into clones. You can hear which one is the real Hecate based on the audio or the speech bubble as well. Don't forget, if you're playing with Phrynos, you can lead the sheep ball straight into him to save yourself some time and some effort of dodging it. Clear out your witches, and then you're into the final Hecate phase. She did not speak, which is rather unfortunate. Was hoping to just quickly show that off for you all, and we'll finish her up and head down to Oceanus.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Now we can talk about the different keepsakes you can take within a run, depending on what you're looking for. We have Silver Wheel if you need extra max magic. Then there's Ghost Onion if you want some healing. Engraved Pin if you're using Death Defiances, as this does count as a Death Defiance effect and will disable Strength. When you first fall to 0 HP in an encounter, you're going to become doomed. If you clear the encounter within 10 seconds, you will save that Death Defiance, heal up to 60 HP, which is quite nice. Metallic Droplet is good for move, strike, and channel speed for 300 seconds. If you dare to knock your max HP down to 30, you will get 30% critical chance with the White Antler. You have all the different god keepsakes that can influence and affect your build, which I think I'll go ahead and take today. We'll just add some Hephaestus Safety as our 4th god on top of Apollo, Zeus, and Poseidon. I like that quite a bit. There is also Athena for a strong defensive boon if you have no death defiances. Fig Leaf from Dionysus to skip 1 room per region. You're going to want to equip this after the first region so you can get its maximum effect of 3 regions. Silken Sash to add 30 base armor, and then another 4 per location as long as you keep some armor. Lion Fang for 50% damage, but you're going to lose 5% of this bonus after each encounter. An Experimental Hammer, where you gain 1 random hammer that's going to last for 20 encounters. Use this at a point where you're less than 20 encounters from finishing the run, otherwise you'll lose it before the run ends. With that being said, we take half keepsake. We talk to the old man. We go down to Oceanus.
Please, keep.
You have my...
It seems we're...
Yes.
Don't want anything from this well. We're good to go. Don't want to sell anything. Oceanus it is.
Onward.
And we did get a Chaos Gate, so we can show this off. We're in location 15 right here. We take the Chaos Gate. This is going to be our location 16, which means we're going to come out in location 17, effectively skipping a room just for the sake of taking a Chaos boon. Chaos has plenty of very scary curses you're not going to want to take. Like every time you attack, you take damage. But Chaos does have some pretty amazing bonuses you're going to want to look for.
Try this again.
Like attacks percent, specials percent, cast percent, max HP, boon rarity, gold, etc, etc, etc. Probably throw 1 more roll. 3 encounters, can't gain gold, totally fine with me, and we get another 43% specials on our Melt Staff build. That's what we're looking for. We are based all in special damage after all. So we mentioned the skips we're looking for already to save us some time, also some grief by not having to fight enemies. We skipped a location with Chaos. There is also a mid shop, which is right here, a mid boss, which we're hoping to see, our story encounter in Oceanus, which is Narcissus. If we didn't already see Artemis, we could encounter Artemis in Oceanus. Then there's Nemesis we're yet to encounter. There's also a fountain room and a cocoons room, and specific and unique to Oceanus, there is also Asphodel. If you don't know about Asphodel, it's where Kronos takes you back to Asphodel. You have to interact with the Kronos orb and then stand in the ring until you complete the room. They're pretty difficult. If you didn't know, you can actually just walk outside the ring. Kronos will kick you out of the room. You will lose your reward, but you will leave very fast. It's a great time save, and it's much safer, which is what I recommend unless you think you desperately need the Asphodel reward. Get a free boon? It's Demeter. So we have actually forced a 5-god pool here. 1, 2, 3, Demeter 4, Hef 5, due to the mystery boon, and then Adamant Shard activating right after this. I did mention Demeter and Hef, as well as Apollo and Zeus as some really strong gods. Didn't talk too much about Poseidon, he has some more specific builds, but every god has a boon here or there that you can always plug in to help yourself out when it comes to survivability or damage. We'll take Demeter Snow Queen for 1 free hit of damage per location, and then we'll hop into our Hef mini boss to hopefully secure a trusty shield, giving us armor per location.
The King Vermin.
Once again, try to just cast enemies. Admittedly, mini boss is not affected by the cast, so don't worry about it as much. And then just throw out your dash strikes and specials from a safe range until they go down. I have faced this. You know what? Uncanny Fortitude at Epic, giving us more HP based on our magic. This is based on our actual maximum magic, not our unprimed magic. We have quite a bit primed due to Static Shock and Killing Stroke. We'll go ahead and click that. So we do get 44 extra max HP, putting us to 209 plus 3 Death Defiances, which is fantastic. And then, of course, what I think to be the strongest thing about Death Defiances when it comes to survivability is Athena's Renewed Faith. What is that? Renewed Faith. Replenish all spent uses of Death Defiances now and improve their potency. Life restoration when used plus 10%. If I lose all my Death Defiances, I can simply equip Athena's Keepsake, spawn her from the heavens, and then hopefully hit 3 new fresh Death Defiances, giving me a new lease on life in a Hades 2 run. Not only that, But Nemesis can give you a Death Defiance, Wells can give you Death Defiances, Narcissus here can give us 1 Death Defiance, and Echo can give us a full refill on our Death Defiances. So within a run, you can get 8 to 10 Death Defiances, which is what I think makes Death just so flippin' powerful. And I really do think it's underrated in comparison to Strength these days. Hello, Narcissus. We pause the timer, we skip a combat, we get a reward. Some more max HP we'll take today. Up to 247. Staying nice and healthy. Getting even more in this room. Cast, dash strike, special. Nothing changes. This is the bread and butter. Heal me up. And we take our final shot before our sirens fight. More Hephaestus. Now we'll look for that trusty shield. Honestly, 50 armor from heavy metal? Why not? Hef has so many amazing boons. Heavy metal, security system, trusty shield, uncanny fortitude. All amazing survivability boons. So sirens, when it comes to being safe, I say try to target Roxy first to get all the drumming patterns out of your way, which are very dangerous. Then you can just clean up Scylla. And then Jetty. Whichever one you find a little bit easier, it doesn't really matter. Be careful of your featured artist. Once again, I always say look to kill Roxy to get those drumming patterns out of there. And avoid the other two while you do so. I'm gonna try to not play too fast. So it looks more like how a beginner would do it. Jetty's down, Roxy's down, and we just clean up Scylla. A beautiful, high damage, very safe build. No problems here whatsoever. And we're into the morning fields.
Quite enough of them. A pearl.
For our next keepsake, we have Hephaestus, we have Demeter.
Try another one.
We can just go ahead and stick to the theme of defense. Will just be the engraved pin. Fall to 0 in an encounter, become doomed. Doomed makes you impervious. You have 10 seconds to vanquish your remaining foes, or you're going to lose that Death Defiance. If you do clear doomed, you gain back 60 HP, and you keep your Death Defiance. It's encounter based, not room based, so you can use it over and over in the morning fields. For example,
Time to dry off.
as this is the ultimate keepsake to use if you're going to use Death Defiances. The morning fields is a very unique biome. It's just a couple of very big rooms with multiple encounters in them. You're typically going to get 2 encounters, then a mid-boss, then Echo, and then 3 encounters. You can get 3 encounters and 3 encounters. You can miss Echo. You can get 2 encounters and then 2 encounters. But overall, the usual standard is 2, boss, Echo, 3, which isn't bad at all. Go ahead, find your tree as early as you can to know where your rewards are, to then clear your rewards, get out of your room, progress through your run. Here's our mid-boss, more Zeus, don't mind if I do. Same thing. Always be casting. Attack and special.
Let's go, Homer.
Grab another Zeus boon here. Air quality is active while you have at least 5 air. You can never deal less than the damage limit. It is quite a good boon when you have effects. Like Static Shock at 10, going all the way up to 50. Storm Ring even at 30.
I felt something.
Making sure that our minimum is 50. After the boss, we do get Echo, a great room. Pauses the timer and gives us a very strong reward in damage or survivability,
Thank the fates.
which is always nice. We can pom and buff our attack. We can gain HP and magic, or we can gain an extra boon. The HP and magic do go away 5% after each location. I think I'm just going to take the extra boon here, but it is quite nice if you are looking for a ton of extra HP. And then we do get the very standard final 3 encounter room. The only skips you're going to get in Morning Fields combat are if you put on the Fig Leaf, it can hit on a Morning Fields combat. And besides that, you can use Athena Keepsake, in the morning fields to slam down and end an encounter a little bit early. Or you can hit Nemesis in the morning fields. You can jump down out of nowhere, pause up your timer, and you'll end up having to do a Nemesis combat encounter in the morning fields. We'll go ahead and take Travel Deal. We just get extra shop boons at the very end of our run. And do our Daedalus Hammer encounter. Once again, always be casting. Space away from enemies. All there is to it. Very safe, very strong, very simple. Gonna take Melting Swipe here. Our dash strike hits a larger area. Deals plus 900 damage to armor. Very good. Should always pick up your rewards in the morning fields. Don't be lazy like me. Please. Go to our final shop with Travel Deal and gold, and see what we pick up. It's Demeter and Demeter. We can go ahead and take Arctic Gale. Great. With air quality here. Plus we already have Snow Queen. A nice slow effect on our cast isn't going to hurt at all. And Tropical Cyclones. Why not? While standing in a gust, you randomly fire gales every 0.3 seconds. Duo with Apollo. Pick up our Poseidon boon too. I guess we'll just go ahead and grab Buried Treasure for some more money. Not really much left out of Poseidon that we're going to be looking for. Grab this palm and hits Blinding Rush for some more sprint speed. Go into our Cerberus boss fight. The safest place to fight Cerberus from is his back. Be careful of the exploding orbs. One thing I will say about Phrenos is those things can hit Phrenos. So watch out. Because if he spits at Phrenos with those, they will instantly explode. Why does that happen? I don't know. But it's a thing. A simple dash strike and a special with our cast boon. All our global damage modifiers. We're good to go. Very cool. Thank you, Cerberus. Head on down to Tartarus now. Clean up this run.
Three-headed terror, Cerberus does not let on.
Tartarus is probably the most difficult biome, but also the most simple. 5 rooms till you fight Kronos. No rewards in any of the rooms. And I don't recommend taking side rooms unless you really feel like you need the reward. Any room you take in Tartarus increases room depth, meaning that the subsequent room is going to be much more difficult. The only thing I would recommend is taking the Hades upgrade, because Hades has some pretty significant upgrades that can really help you out in the Kronos fight. But outside of that, you are going to get 5 rooms between you and Kronos. I say rush straight to Kronos, try to conserve as many resources as you possibly can, and get straight into your boss fight. We're going to keep on the Engraved Pin, as it is the best survivability tool you have access to if you're going to play Death Defiances. 10 seconds of imperviousness, and if you clear the encounter under the effect, you will keep your Death Defiance instead of losing it, like you normally would. You can also lose a Death Defiance in the Kronos fight at the end of P1, or Phase 1, and if you trigger Phase 2 during the doomed status of the Engraved Pin, you will save that Death Defiance, but you will not be able to have another doomed status in the fight. Which is quite nice, I have to say. Check our well. We did get an Ixion. I mentioned that it skips locations. For whatever reason, it does not actually skip any locations down in Tartarus, so we wouldn't take it here, as it would not skip a location, give us a curse, and increase our room depth, meaning we would fight more enemies in subsequent rooms, which we don't want to do. Unlock our express route, clear 5 rooms, fight Kronos. The run is won.
Keep disrespecting satyrs and such are all in port now.
Try to really slow it down here. Click my attack and special as slow as possible for you all. And like I said, the only room we're going to take outside of the core rooms, the main rooms, is the Hades upgrade room. If we see it. Not guaranteed to actually see it. Which is interesting. Melting Swipe, we're getting a ton of mileage out of it. Which is great. And we continue. There's our Hades room. signified by the story icon, the hands. Hello, hello.
As Kronos.
He's been
Not gonna listen to any of this today. And we get life tax. 125 healing, last gasp, damage based on how many death defiance we lost, or unseen ire. All amazing upgrades here. You're gonna take unseen ire. After you take damage, go dark, deal more damage for the duration. We are undetectable and impervious for 5 seconds, and it can reoccur every 40 seconds. There's also Deep Descent and Old Grudge, giving Kronos less reinforcements. Hey, we got our Nem room all the way down in Tartarus. Very cool. Nem is going to pause the timer,
so impatient.
make us do a combat where if we beat her, we gain some extra gold. If we lose, she takes our gold. So let's not lose. Nem can actually trigger darkness for whatever reason. It's quite funny. Oh, that should be our last skull. We'll proceed to our next room.
Clearly underestimated.
Thank you, thank you. There is a mini boss down in Tartarus 2 to be exact. Same rules as the rest. We don't need it. Our build's fantastic. We'll head straight to Kronos. One more room. Plenty of resources, plenty of damage, plenty of survivability. It's always nice to carry into the final encounter. Most of the times, your damage can be solved by just a handful of boons. I really think a lot more people should focus on general positioning, but also just survivability tools to win more runs. Here we are, final shop and then Kronos. We'll buy the Zeus spin for fun.
Name of Hades.
Ba-doom. An epic double strike. Our lightning bolt effects may strike up to 2 times. So we have a 20% chance to double our blitz damage. It's absolutely fantastic.
All right.
And then we'll just grab the armor and the HP. 364 HP, 3 death defiances, Moros pin, Snow Queen, 90 armor, unseen ire, 3 lovers shields. For the Kronos fight.
Kronos.
Kronos can be quite difficult. Take your time, understand his patterns, practice, practice, practice. I see a lot of people ignoring his ads. That is not what you want to do. Please clear them. Simplify the fight down to just Kronos. You should actually focus them until they're cleared, especially early on. Just be careful of the death pulses that don't exist outside of rivals. You still want to cast your bosses for the damage bonus, but remember that it's not going to root them. I do have a slow effect, thanks to Arctic Gale, which is quite nice on bossing. Freezes do the same thing. Do your simple dash strike special combos. Run in, drop your cast when you can. Take your time, play at your maximum range to deal the most effective damage. Always the goal. Careful of the orbitals. Use your dash. Remember to hold that sprint like I told you all. I don't want to see no empty dashes into danger. Kronos phase 2. We still have our lovers. We don't have to go to the insta-kill. You can also iframe this. I failed to do so. But we got the resistance. And we have pushed Kronos into phase 2. Now here, the healing's pretty strong. I really recommend you slow down, you take your time, and you clear out some Tempestuses. Especially if for whatever reason, your build ends up lacking damage. It's really going to help you out by clearing the Tempi. Be wary of cross the screen insta-kills. Can do that as well. Take your time. Slow it down. Don't be too scared of them. And there it is. The end to our Hades 2 over-explained beginner's guide. And in a way, a basics on how to meld staff. The weapon I use to clear Maxsphere.
A time flow freely forward. Time cannot be stopped.
For my father.
Anyways, thank you all for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. It really does help me out a lot. And if you want to keep up with more of my Hades 2 content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Let me know down in the comments below what you want to see next. Build videos, a specific guide video, tier list videos, high fear videos, speedrun videos, you name it, we'll do it. Okay, bye. And a massive thank you to my members for supporting the channel. John Costello, Zuko's Honor, Horia Dragomir, Avocado Anna, Gay UD, Meist Jr., Shag Daddy, Vetatoid, Rob Wallace, Katarina V, Seneca, Ticolo, Hideki 504, Andy Fu, Saint Naive, But What About the Hostages, Night Crawler, David Hyman, Paul, Sho Shin, Nathan, Mininet, Andrew Reddick, Quib, and Fish Nabubu.